Well, it is Thursday, the 31st day of August 2023, which also happens to be the last day this month. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch on Hope TV, the station where you look and live. You're just on time for our day's news updates. I'm Tess Njenga and our sign language interpreter is Monica Aching. Catch us streaming live on our socials at Hope TV Kenya. Let us kick off. Now, the number of Kenyans facing acute food insecurity in the country has dropped from 4.4 million in February to 2.8 million to date. This is according to the Cabinet Secretary in charge of the Ministry of East Africa Community, Arid and Semi-Arid Lands, that is ASALS, and Regional Development, Rebecca Miano. Speaking to the press in Narok after releasing the findings of the assessment report conducted in ASAL counties, Miano termed the projection as positive. Alice Diana has more.
A report on findings of an assessment conducted this year in arid and semi-arid counties indicates that population facing acute food insecurity has dropped from 4.4 million in February to 2.8 million to date. The report was released by East Africa Community Arid and Semi-Arid Lands and Regional Development Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano. Speaking to the press in Narok North after launching a borehole at a Kerry Model Boarding Primary School that was drilled by Ewasonyiro South Development Authority (ENSDA), Miano has said there is a huge improvement that is attributed to the good performance of the March to May this year long rains, which saw most of the country receive above average rainfall, leading to improved production and productivity.
Ile ripoti tumezindua leo ni ile ripoti kueleza matokeo ya ile mvua tulipata kutoka mwezi wa March mpaka mwezi wa June mwaka huu. Na kwa kifupi tumeeleza kwamba tukiangalia tumeona kuna improvement ama tuko na improvement ya kutosha katika sehemu kame, na wale watu ambao wanahitaji usaidizi wa lishe ama chakula imepungua kutoka milioni 4.4 mpaka milioni 2.8. Tumeona wanyama wamepata chakula zaidi kuliko hapo mbele. Mabwawa ya maji yamepata maji.
The CS also said expectant mothers and children below the age of 5 have been the most affected in Turkana, Samburu, Laisamis in Marsabit, Wajir and Isiolo, an issue that the government is handling through urgent emergency measures currently. According to the CS, Turkana County remains a hotspot with an extremely critical situation in Turkana South.
Lakini tukiangalia afya ama malnutrition, bado tumeona watoto kati ya miezi 9 mpaka miezi 59 hapo bado wanahitaji usaidizi, wanahitaji kupata chakula kizuri ili tuweze kuimprove hiyo malnutrition. Na kama serikali kupitia NDMA wizara yetu tuko na mipango ambayo tutaweza kuweka hapo na kusaidia wale wameathirika. Na pia tunashirikiana na wengine, washikadau wengine, development partners, watu wa private sector.
The assessment has also identified priority response interventions for scale-up in various sectors from August 2023 to January 2024 at an estimated cost of 33.29 billion shillings. The interventions are in the areas of food security and resilient livelihoods, agriculture, water and sanitation, livestock, health and nutrition, education, child protection, and peace and security.
Hii ripoti ni ya umuhimu sana kwa sababu inatueleza vizuri na inatupatia hata zile numbers zinahitaji usaidizi, ndio tuweze hata kuuliza fedha ama pesa ile itahitajika kuendelea kushikilia wale wanahitaji msaada mpaka tupate mvua ya kutosha na mpaka tutoke kwa hili janga la jilali na watu waweze kupata chakula cha kutosha.
Alice Diana, Hope TV Newswatch.
Thank you, Alice Diana, for that report. Now, various members of parliament across Africa have met today to formulate a clear statement that will influence the outcome of the Africa Climate Summit. Now, ahead of the 3-day summit that will be taking place next week here in Nairobi, the parliamentarians have also made commitments to take up necessary measures and come up with resolutions on impacts of climate change. Gloria Musimbi has more.
Members of the Pan-African Parliament and Pan-African Climate Justice Alliance across Africa have today held a parliamentary dialogue which aimed at mobilizing and aligning the efforts of African legislatures and parliamentarians on climate justice and equity.
This is a very important moment for us to really strengthen and unify the African voice in terms of climate action and in terms of our position in the international dialogue of climate change and our position to the COP28.
According to Homa Bay Senator Moses Kajwang, the purpose of the summit is to cater to those who have been adversely affected by the climate changes and come up with long-term solutions.
Those who are affected by the adverse impacts of climate change tend to be those who are most vulnerable, and these are the youth and women. We want to ensure that this summit is not just a talking shop for presidents and ministers and members of parliament, and that there can be some synergy and linkages with the youth.
Political leaders have been urged to fight the climatic rise, stating that some of the recurring challenges affecting the nation are related to climate change, including drought.
We saw an infestation of locusts. All these are driven by changes in climate. We have seen rivers like Tana drying up. We have seen lakes like Lake Victoria and Lake Turkana also facing a lot of challenges. All that is driven by climate change. We must, as we aspire and as we fight for rights in this country, the political class has focused a lot on political rights. And after the last election, we went into economic rights.
On her part, Njoro MP Charity Kadhambi backed President Ruto's bid to strengthen advocacy on reduction of carbon emissions.
We are taking different action in our grassroots constituencies, and we are also right now planning to do some amendment on the CDF so that we can do also the increment on the percentage of finance when it comes to the environment. And on that platform also, we would like to inform our Kenyans, let us support the idea of His Excellency the President on the matters of the 15 billion planting of trees, that is from now to the target up to 2032.
Reporting for TV Newswatch, I'm Gloria Musimbi.
Much appreciated, Gloria Musimbi. Moving on, former Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya has been dropped as a witness in the Aror and Kimorer case. This is after prosecution failed to lead Munya to testify over the 63 billion shillings corruption scandal. The former Cabinet Secretary was supposed to testify against former Cabinet Secretary Henry Rotich and others. Early this week, the court issued a warrant of arrest against Munya after he failed to present himself in court to testify. The magistrate declined to adjourn the matter, thereby forcing the prosecution to drop Munya as their witness.
I
state your name kindly.
I, Peter Munya,
Swear by the Almighty God
swear by the Almighty God
that the evidence I shall give before this honorable court
that the evidence I shall give before this honorable court
touching on matters in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
We are now in the month of August 2023. The prosecution has had enough time to bond their witnesses, to have a briefing with their witnesses. And therefore it is very unfortunate when the prosecution shows up in court and claims that they do not have witnesses and claims that they need directions from the office of the DPP on the way to move forward with this case, which they voluntarily presented before this court. This case is not just about the DPP. This case is also about the accused persons whose lives are on hold because the matter is now present in court.
And Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has pointed out that Kenya is making deliberate efforts to utilize information and communication technology, ICT, as a catalyst for economic transformation. By prioritizing technology investments, he said Kenya aims to establish itself as a pivotal technology gateway for the entire African continent. Speaking during the unveiling of the EcoCloud Data Center and the Climate Resilience Innovation Challenge at the Kengen Industrial Park in Naivasha, Mudavadi has emphasized that Kenya is a mobile-first nation with a young and experimental population, making it an ideal environment for innovation.
Technology has put Kenya on the global map. Kenya is widely recognized as a leading innovation hub in the region. ICT is at the core of the country's economic transformation agenda, both as an enabler and driver. It is in this regard that the government is prioritizing investments in technology to position Kenya as a technology gateway, simply put, the hub for the continent. Kenya has established itself and continues as a connected country. We boast of best coverage in mobile network with over 131% mobile subscription and 96% for the 3G, 4G networks, and now the 5G network coverage across major towns in the country. We are a mobile, fast, youthful, and highly experimental nation. This has led Kenya to become the startup hub for the region. With many technology companies setting their operations in Kenya, it is commonly said that if you are successful in Kenya, you can scale the rest of Africa.
Well, on that note, let us take our very fast break on NewsWatch tonight. We have plenty more coming up after the break.
Love Nairobi Festival with evangelist Andrew Palau is coming to Nairobi. All are welcome at this free event. 3 days of great music with Don Moen, Ponky, Evelyn Wanjiru, and more of Kenya's best artists. Bring the kids to the family fun zone, see high-flying motorcycle and BMX bicycle demonstrations. Love Nairobi Festival, 15th to 17th September at the University of Nairobi Sports Grounds. Friday, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. More details at lovenairobifestival.org. It's free.
Naam, ni wakati wa kubadilisha na kubatilisha anga kwa mazungumzo tendeti, mziki bomba na burudani mufti.
Na sio burudani tu, bali tutajikita katika kukupa tumaini kila unapoamka.
Wow, weka miadi nasi, Amani Aila.
Nami Beatrice Watare.
Kila Jumatatu hadi Ijumaa.
Kutoka mwendo wa saa 1 hadi saa 3 kwenye kipindi bomba Tumaini Alfajiri.
I've actually been trying to find a balance. It's been really tough and hectic, but everyone says once you get a hang of it, it becomes better, and I don't know, but I'm hoping to find a balance soon because it's really been hectic. But you've been in the job industry for a long time, so I think you would know better. Sindio?
Huh? What time is it? I need to catch up on Leadership Forum. Do they have a radio here? Never mind. I brought my own.
No way. You can't be serious. Wait, why do you have a radio and you can just catch up with the shows on Hope FM podcasts?
Really? Even Meet of the One?
I mean, you can find them on whatever platform, name it. AfriPods, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it.
But I'm not subscribed on any of them.
So no worries. You can just check out the latest episodes on hopemediakenya.org.
You can now listen to select Hope FM programs on your favorite podcast streaming platform or directly on our website, www.hopemediakenya.org. Listen and live.
Welcome back. Pastor Dorcas Rigathi has warned students on the dangers of engaging in drug abuse. Speaking to students at Tudor Secondary School during her tour of Mombasa County to open medical camps for drug addicts, Pastor Dorcas told them that she would not want them to end up having wasted their promising lives in addictions. Pastor Dorcas has said this while opening a medical camp in the county, which has attracted more than 1,000 drug users from the neighboring drug dens of Kenjaro and Magodoroni villages. On his part, Nakada officer Eric Omondi said that the coast region was amongst those most affected by alcohol and drug abuse, but they were working with schools to sensitize students on the dangers of drug use. And Kenya Pipeline Corporation, KPC, is working on a plan to revive the dormant oil refinery, which was acquired by the government from Indian oil giant Essar. According to Energy Cabinet Secretary Davis Chirchir, all the employees of the defunct Kenya Petroleum Refinery Limited will be absorbed by the KPC. Speaking in Mombasa, the Cabinet Secretary has challenged Kenya Pipeline Corporation to hasten their business investment model to revamp the defunct state-owned refinery. Grace Ahati now reports.
Following the approval of the acquisition of the Kenya Petroleum Refinery Limited by the Kenya Pipeline Corporation KPC last month, the KPC officials, accompanied by Energy and Petroleum Cabinet Secretary Davis Chirchir, have held a joint meeting at the Mombasa County's Governor's Office in efforts to revive the dormant oil refinery.
Comes into KPRL.
The CS has called upon KPC to speed up their business investment model to revamp the state-owned refinery, noting that the refinery is internationally situated and will bring economic fortunes to the country.
And with a strong company coming in to take KPRL, we can be able to see once again activities. So we expect Kenya Pipeline, and the CEO is here, Josang, with his team and the board, to quickly look at the investment option, take advantage of our location, and ensure that KPRL is working for us, working for the region, working to make our lives better.
The CS has further noted that there was going to be no layoff of the dormant refinery workers as anticipated, but instead a creation of more job opportunities.
Nobody's losing jobs. We had, like Governor said again, we had PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, doing a study to confirm which was the best acquisition option. And we've zeroed in on the acquisition by transfer of shares as opposed to transfer of business. That would have many challenges.
On his part, Mombasa Governor Abdul Swamad Nasir has promised that the county will work closely with the KPC engineers on approvals when it comes to urban planning, among other projects.
The county government of Mombasa will give written delegated powers to the engineers at Kenya Pipeline, so that when it comes to matters of approval, will allow them to be able to approve to remove all these bottlenecks. However, urban planning will be included so that in our planning, when we are now planning the whole of Mombasa, we can now not have a problem where there's going to be an oil pipeline is crisscrossing where there's water pipeline, and it has been something that has been a nightmare in the past.
Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Grace Ahati.
Thank you, Grace Ahati. Now, the county government of Embu has started training supervisors and enumerators for the new registration of farmers for subsidized fertilizer, which is set to kick off next month. According to Agriculture CAC John Nyaga, 47 supervisors and 322 enumerators have been picked for the month-long exercise, where they project to register 120,000 farmers. Speaking in Embu town while opening the 3-day training, Nyaga has said it was important to bring them up to speed with what is expected of them during data collection.
We want to ensure that each and every farmer is captured. So that is how the village elders and the chiefs, assistant chiefs come in. Na umuhimu ya hii data ni kwa sababu the government inataka kila mkulima akue mapped, akue kwa ile electronic system. Ndio sababu wakati tunafanya configuration ya mkulima na ule agrovet ako karibu na yeye, ile processors wako karibu.
Ni program ya kufundisha supervisors ambao watakuja baadaye after 3 days wasomeshe pia enumerators wale watakuwa natembelea mashamba wakichukua data ya wakulima. Hapa Embu tunatarajia kuandikisha wakulima 1,120 na tuko na enumerators ama wale watu ambao ajiri wa kufanya hii kazi ni vijana 322.
Poor communities from Limanet, Ilmashariani and Morijo in Narok have agreed with the county government on land development such as building a multi-million milk processing plant and an industrial park in Limanet community land. The engagement that drew the county government leadership and the local communities reached an agreement on developments in the Limanet community land that was set in 1972. While addressing the press after the meeting with local communities, Governor Patrick Ntutu has said that the projects will commence soon.
Hii viwanda sikijengwa, ni nani ambayo atafaidika kwa yale ambayo tutakuja kufanya? Kama nyinyi wote mjuavyo, ng'ombe, mbuzi, kondoo, bado Narok County inapeleka pale Ndiagureti. Lakini kwa sababu ya mpangilio ile ambayo tuko naye kama county government, tunataka sasa kujenga kiwanda yetu ambayo ng'ombe zote zile ambazo ziko Narok County zitakuwa zikichinjwa hapa, alafu nyama inapelekwa kwingineko. Na hii inamaanisha nini kwa county kama hii? Hatuja kuwa na industries yoyote. Ndiposa wa vijana wetu wengi watapata kazi pale kwa hizi viwanda. Ya pili, wale ambayo ni wakulima wataweza kuja kuuza vyakula vyao pale kwa hiyo industrial park. So inamaanisha kwamba uchumi ya tauni yetu ya Narok na county mzima watafaidika kwa pakubwa sana, kwa sababu industry ikikuwa form, wale ambao wanauza hizo vivazi yao wataweza kupata kuuza kwa urahisi, na pia wasikuwe wanapeleka vyakula mbali. Na hiyo inamaanisha kwamba hatutakuwa na waste.
Na tena mimi nilikuwa chairman Narok Town Council. Na kwa hivyo mimi nataka kusema hivi. Tuko hapa kuzungumzia maneno ya Old Crown ambayo inajua katika area hii ambayo mimi nakuwa inawakilisha kama councilor. Hiyo shamba ni shamba ambayo ilikuwa sisi inakuwa amechunga mpaka wakati huu. Ndio saa hii ilianza ile maendeleo ambayo sisi ilikuwa ameweka, ambayo ilikuwa ameanza project ambayo ilikuanza inametangulia katika hiyo shamba ya Holy Crown. ndio mimi mwenyewe ilitoa eka 50 ambayo inakuwa inasema ajengwe silota ambayo sasa watu nakulia.
To some unfortunate news across our borders, more than 70 people have died while scores have been injured after a fire engulfed a 5-story building on Thursday morning in South Africa's city of Johannesburg. According to the city's authorities, the building in the Marshalltown neighborhood was being used as informal housing for some 200 homeless people. Some of the people living in the building were reported to have thrown themselves out of windows to escape the blaze. 7 of the victims were children, and the youngest was a 1-year-old. Johannesburg Emergency Services, in an update, said 52 people were also injured and have been transported to various healthcare facilities for further medical care. The illegal occupation of disused buildings is common in Johannesburg, as more than 80 shacks had been set up inside.
I'm losing my sister. 3 sisters already I'm lose, and also my thing. I didn't any things I didn't bring from inside because that time I was already to protect my life.
The actual fire escape was closed, so there was a lot of people. You know, a lot of people smoke. People were suffocated. A lot of people died because of the smoke, because there was a lot of pressure at the gates. Some of the gates were closed.
Recovered on the incident, and then 43 people have been injured, treated on scene for smoke inhalation and then moderate injuries. So those people are just, moderately injured. Most of them, they might be relieved from hospitals.
Naam, ni wakati wa kubadilisha na kubatilisha anga kwa mazungumzo tendeti, mziki bomba na burudani mufti.
Na sio burudani tu, bali tutajikita katika kukupa tumaini kila unapoamka.
Wow, weka miadi nasi, Amani Aila.
Nami Beatrice Watare.
Kila Jumatatu hadi Ijumaa.
Kutoka mwendo wa saa 1 hadi saa 3 kwenye kipindi bomba Tumaini Alfajiri.
Thank you for consistently tuning in to watch and listen to our content both on Hope TV and Hope FM. You are the reason why we are on air. The CBS Family Service now comes to you every Sunday at 4 p.m. on Hope TV, Hope FM, and on Sitam Church Online.
The Holy Spirit will empower our prayer lives.
Our mission is to know God and to make Him known through evangelism and discipleship.
CBS Family Service on Hope FM and Hope TV, where you look and live.
All to praise how.
Welcome back. Now in business, more than 570 learners in Homa Bay and Elgeyo Marakwet counties are set to enjoy better learning conditions after the M-Pesa Foundation invested 34 million shillings to renovate, construct and equip school infrastructure. In Homa Bay County at Kanyamfwa Primary School, the foundation provided 16 million shillings for the renovation and equipping of 10 classrooms, construction and furnishing of an administration block, among other facilities.
And in fact, it has taken the community a struggle to do it, but in vain. As to such, we really thank the M-Pesa Foundation and Safaricom for having seen it wise to renovate or to facelift the school. And as can be seen, the schools now is up to an international standard. The learners are very happy, the stakeholders and the teachers. As a result of the M-Pesa Foundation, we have received 10 classrooms, some for the early years education, for pre-primary, and we are also hosting junior secondary school. They have also provided us with water tanks, almost 10.
That human beings behave in a manner in which they are brought up. The financial year that ended 2022-2023, we came in a new budget, in an old budget, and we were doing 40 classrooms in the county, 1 classroom per ward. And we know how important it is to put these young ones in good environment.
I also think it's good for the M-Pesa Foundation to do what we've done here today. 2 years ago, we made a big decision that we would spend a good deal of the money that we have available just for education.
The government, through the new Kenya Cooperative Creameries KCC, is set to build a 750 million shillings milk processing plant in Nakuru County to boost milk productivity and farmers' income. According to the Cabinet Secretary in charge of cooperative and micro, small and medium enterprise, Simon Chelugui, the state aims at wiping out middlemen who exploit farmers by buying their produce at a very low cost and later selling the milk at almost a double price, causing farmers to incur huge losses. In this regard, the Cabinet Secretary has directed the new KCC Chairman, David Maina, and Chief Executive Officer CEO Nixon Sigei to oversee the sale of milk in the county even before the processing plant is built, so that farmers are no longer exploited.
Through the Ministry of Cooperative and MSME, the new cooperative creameries have heard your cry, and we've responded through a modernization program worth 3.8 billion shillings, which will be covering the whole country. It is possible with the environment. We have zones that can produce enough feeds. We have good climatic condition. It is possible Nakuru County can go all the way to 500,000 liters of milk. We as a Ministry of Cooperatives and the national government will partner, and we commit ourselves through our new KCC and also our cooperative officers to work with the county government of Narok to increase production, to work on better farming techniques, and even to support them in marketing their produce.
From next week, they will be announcing a price of milk. And we have already told our farmers that once we put a price of a liter, which we are saying it must be more than 50 shilling, then no farmer will be selling their milk less than 50 Kenya shilling as we now build our factory. The factory will, of course, address so many issues, and many of our youth will also get employment.
And retail store Carrefour has completed an 8.5 million shillings kitchen renovation project at Children's Gardens Home and School in Kawangware under the Round Up Your Bill social initiative. The project included the construction of a modern kitchen equipped with a walk-in fridge. Through the Round Up Your Bill initiative, which is available across Carrefour stores in the country, customers can voluntarily contribute by donating a few shillings after shopping.
The Round Up Your Bill initiative was started years ago. You know, it's something that started at the time where you still had like cents and coins, and where we were offering our customers an opportunity to make value of those coins that usually end up like lost in pockets. So we started the Round Up Your Bill initiative in order to make value of that lost money and empower people to do something good with them. The Round Up Your Bill initiative is a way for us, Carrefour, to really put our expertise in merchandise, in sourcing product, to the benefit of our local communities in the different countries that we are present in. It's a very important pillar of our mission as we aim at growing with our communities within the countries that we are present. What we offer customers is an opportunity every time that they come to the cash counter to pass by the cash counter, scan their product, and at the moment of payment decide whether they want to give a coin of contribution to one of the projects that we are supporting and that are usually close to the stores that we are operating in.
And now in sports, the penultimate qualifier leg of the 2023 NCBA Golf Series is scheduled to take place this Saturday at the Great Rift Valley Lodge and Golf Resort. Over 100 golfers are scheduled to tee it off for a chance to qualify to play in the series grand finale, which will be held at the Sigona Golf Club later this year. The event is the 13th in the series, where winners will be feted in various categories, including overall gross, men's, ladies, and juniors. And the Football Kenya Federation, FKF, has signed a 7-year broadcast deal with Tanzanian broadcaster Azam TV that will see the broadcaster air the FKF Premier League for the next 7 years. The deal is worth around 145 million shillings per year and will increase by $100,000 every year.
Tulikuwa tuna negotiate na Azam TV na leo tumetia sahihi contract yetu na Azam TV ya miaka 7 pay TV na digital, meaning wako na rights za mpira wa Kenya FKF Premier League to cover for 7 years, incrementing by $100,000 every year. It's a big day and significant. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu mpira wa Kenya kwa miaka miwili mahali ulipokuwa, kwangu ni personal victory, kuonyesha kwamba ukifanya kazi nzuri itaonekana. Na Azam wako very excited. Wataanza kufanya mechi kuanzia wiki 1 ama 2 zijazo. Wanaleta broadcasting van dedicated Kenya. Wataanza na mechi 3 kwa weekend. Lakini tunaona baada ya miaka 2 tutafanya mechi zote 9. Kwa sababu tunangojea news kuhusu free to air. Tuna mkataba mwingine wa free to air. Tunamalizia, tunangojea ratiba fulani iishe. Na ikiisha basi tutakuwa tumeshikanisha free to air na pay TV broadcaster wawili, na itakuwa historia kubwa sana Kenya. Leo ni historia, lakini itakuwa historia kubwa sana Kenya tukifanya hivyo.
Well, that story wraps up NewsWatch tonight. Thank you for watching. I'm Tess Njenga and our sign language interpreter is Monica Aching. God willing, see you tomorrow night, same place, same time. For now, have a good night.